On the news, Fubara vows to resist local government poll disruptions. Lagos-owned Ekpa General Hospital upgrades to Federal Medical Center in new memorandum. And Borno announces cholera outbreak, approves 400,000 vaccines. Many thanks for joining us on the news on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkolie. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has expressed shock over an alleged attempt by the police to invade the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission premises, aiming to disrupt the scheduled local government elections. During a media briefing in Port Harcourt, Fubara said that despite a court ruling instructing the police not to provide security, it did not authorize interference with the election. The governor said that the election will proceed backed by a high court ruling in Rivers State and a Supreme Court judgment which mandates local elections to prevent the local federal government from funding appointed officials. Tensions have risen between Fubara and his predecessor Nyesom Wike, who opposes the election, fearing it could shift political power at the grassroots levels. Now, despite protests from Wike's loyalists, Governor Fubara vowed the election will hold, ensuring local governance in line with legal directives. And the House of Representatives has urged the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to accelerate the trial of individuals in prolonged detention across Nigeria. The resolution came after a motion by Ahmed Mohamed, representing the Bukara Maradun Federal Constituency in Zamfara State, and highlighted that over 53,000 inmates are awaiting trial, some for minor offenses contributing to prison overcrowding. Mohamed emphasized that the delays violates the Constitution and international conventions, erode public confidence in the judiciary, and often compromises the legal process. The motion was adopted and referred to the Committees on Judiciary, Correctional Services and Human Rights, which will investigate the delays and propose reforms.
Observes that numerous individuals are languishing in prolonged pretrial detention, often exceeding legal limits by years, thereby violating their rights and contributing to prison overcrowding. Also observes that a significant number of these individuals are detained for minor offences requiring minimal or no extensive investigation. Concerned that the delay in adjudicating legal matters results in prison congestion, violates rights of the accused, and erodes public confidence in the judicial system. Alarmed that the trial delays dissuade witness appearances and compromise the integrity of the judicial process. Cognizant of the need to address this systemic injustice and uphold the fundamental rights of a fair trial for all.
And the Benin State Ministry of Health has declared a cholera outbreak following recent floods in part of the state. Commissioner for Health Baba Ghana announced that out of 200 samples tested, 17 returned positive for cholera. Affected areas include Jere, Mafa, Kodwanga, Dikwa, and Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. While no deaths have been recorded, 451 suspected cases have been reported, and the outbreak is spreading, especially with the neighboring Adamawa and Yobe states also being impacted. The state government has initiated an immediate response with support from the World Health Organization to WHO, and 400,000 vaccines have been made available to control the outbreak. Still on health, the federal government is officially taking ownership of the Ekpa General Hospital, previously managed by the Lagos State government. The hospital will be upgraded to a Federal Medical Center (FMC), making it the second FMC in the state. This development follows the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare Tunji Alausa during the Median Lagos Trauma Conference held in Lagos on Thursday. Now, this next report has more details.
Assuming ownership of the General Hospital is a significant step by the federal government in advancing healthcare in Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu had previously requested the federal government to establish advanced healthcare infrastructure in the Ekpe division and this upgrade marks a significant milestone. The MOU includes plans for the establishment of a School of Nursing at the upgraded FMC, with admissions slated to begin next year. Minister of State for Health, Tunji Alawusa, noted that the educational institution would provide young people with opportunities to pursue careers in both conventional and alternative medical fields.
The establishment of the Federal Medical Center Ekpe is poised not only to improve healthcare outcomes, but also numerous socio-economic benefits to the area. It will stimulate local businesses, create employment opportunities for our people, and attract a wide range of healthcare professionals to Ekpe, thereby enriching the local economy and enhancing the well-being of residents of Lagos State. This is in line with the vision of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, which is focused on improving the lives of Nigerians across all sectors, especially the healthcare sector.
The First Lady of Lagos State, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, called for the reintroduction of life support training programs such as those run by the Red Cross and Scouts in schools to prepare future first responders.
Apply local sense to local problem. Much as I am in support of the trauma care conference that we should have, all the gadgets, Dr. Ogwe said something about the helicopters and the flying boats and things like that. I really want all those things to be in place, but then we also have to apply local sense to local problems too. And so we start, catch them young, the young ones in the community, ensure that all these clubs that have been, I don't know what happened to the clubs in the schools when we were young, we had them there, that you catch them young, you ensure that these young ones know what should be done at the right time, in the right situation.
The gathering drew participation from healthcare professionals in both public and private sectors, as well as representatives from law enforcement and emergency service providers.
There's so many times that a person gets to the hospital and is told there's no bed. This should not happen. With these kind of systems in place, where you can actually get proper responses, we should not have that. We should know exactly where there's a bed for that patient and get that patient taken there straight away.
I can imagine the previous speakers have spoken about having base station, having points where you can park the ambulances, having stations where you can be called upon to do, called upon to actually take a call for emergencies. So these places can serve as base stations. In Lagos alone, there are about 200 police stations and posts, and they are already in existence. And these places can serve as base stations for those emergencies as well.
Once completed, the upgraded hospital will offer tertiary health services to the Lagos East Senatorial District, featuring specialized care services including an open-heart surgery unit and advanced obstetric and gynecological services for high-risk pregnancies, amongst others. Victoria Akonde, TV360 News, Lagos.
The Lagos State government says it has plans to roll out a statewide vaccination campaign targeting measles, yellow fever, and HPV, aiming to vaccinate approximately 21 million residents. Adetola Akinpelu immunization program for the Lagos State Primary Health Care Board revealed this during a two-day media dialogue organized in partnership with UNICEF. The initiative is designed to reduce the spread of these diseases and alleviate the burden on the healthcare system. However, the announcement has sparked opposition from the Civil Society Commission on Education Policy and Child Rights, an advocacy group that is planning a major rally to protest the proposed school vaccination programs, voicing concerns about the initiative.
That you don't just go to schools and say, I'm teaching you, the government, we have vaccines from the government, we need to immunize you to ensure your safety. The children must have to sign. If they don't know how to sign, they must be educated. to say, this is what we are going to be giving to you. Do you want it or you don't want it? I will tell you the truth that 99% of the children will tell you that they don't want it because they are aware of what has been happening with respect to COVID and some other vaccines.
We are here to sensitize the public and advocate that they should get to know the truth about what the directive that is coming from the governments, be it from Lagos State government or from any other state government, mandating compulsory vaccination of young school girls against HPV, what they call HPV vaccine. We want to educate them about the truth about the vaccine, to let them know that they have the right to say no to that vaccination by the laws of Nigeria. They have the right to demand that the government should first of all go and receive consent from the parents before they will force vaccination on children.
We first want to guarantee that it's safe, that the vaccines are safe. What has our regulatory bodies done, consumer protection bodies, what have they done? We want to know. We want to know if it's safe because, if we are seeing a lot of reports that the COVID vaccines did more harm than good, the American president got vaccinated all the times and it was triple boosted. He took his booster shot as many times as possible. Yet he still caught COVID a few weeks ago. So then if the same people are bringing vaccines to us to prevent something, are we sure it's going to prevent what they say it prevents?
In the education sector, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to maintaining the relevance of tertiary education in the state through innovation and practical knowledge, ensuring students can compete globally. Speaking at the University of Lagos Faculty of Engineering 60th anniversary celebration, Sanwo-Olu highlighted his administration's achievement in establishing 2 state-owned universities and announced plans to create a University of Medical Sciences next year to tackle medical tourism. He also called on public and private sectors to support the faculty and encourage hand-on training for engineering students.
I inherited only one university, which is LASU, the Lagos State University. And within 5 years, I've created additional 2 universities in the state, which is the University of Science and Technology and the University of Education. And for us, that's not even the end, because we realize that there's a gap. There's a serious gap in our society. And so before the end of next year, and by the grace of God, I, as the governor of Lagos, will also set up another university, which will be a University of Medical Sciences, specific only for medicine and allied professions. This will help not only to broaden the base of the resource, science and research that is abound with our young population and our young citizens, but also be able to reverse all of the issues around our people traveling abroad on medical tourism and on medical issues. And so you can see that as a government, our government in Lagos is committed to ensuring that tertiary education remains relevant and has a pride of place.
You have invested man hours, you have invested equipment, you have invested infrastructure, you have invested advice, you have invested not just in your faculty, but in the university. Because at every step, the University of Lagos continues to rise. The university is the first choice, not only in Nigeria, but globally. When they talk about Nigeria, they talk about the University of Lagos. And we are becoming a household name globally. And this is not due to just what we do in here, but what our alumni are achieving and what our alumni are seeding into the university.
The National Senior Citizen Center, NSCC, has organized a media and entertainment veteran roundtable aimed at celebrating the significant contributions of veterans in the industry and acknowledging their relevance in shaping society. The roundtable, which was held in Abuja, served as a platform to honor the legacies of veterans and emphasize that their wealth of experience remains invaluable to national development. In her address, the Director General of the NSCC, Omokaru highlighted the importance of respecting and valuing senior citizens, stressing that while old age is often regarded as a blessing, it is accompanied by stigmatization, which presents numerous challenges for the elderly.
The worst part of it is when it is systemic, when it permeates policy level, planning level, budgeting level, and so on and so forth. And when the image is the image that is dark and ugly, and really older persons, they finished what they needed to do, they are spent, and any investment in this population category must be a cost, not an investment.
You know, the fact that you need to domesticate it in every single state, so that when it is domesticated in every single state, people are aware you have these centers that are for the coming together of the senior citizens who are repositories. They're not all of them are ill. You know, not all of them are ill, and you know, a good lot of them have a lot of experience to share, and so they're the repositories of knowledge, and there can be a nice sharpening of, you know, iron sharpening iron. The young people sharpening iron with the older people.
I am blown away by the fact that there is an agency that has found not only the necessity, but you know, the need for them to aggregate all of us to discuss and brainstorm, and then to also interface with us on the you know, their mission and vision, and it's well received.
It's time for a short break. Coming up on News Now, notorious Menendez brothers murder case to be reviewed after 30 years. Stay with us for details. We'll return shortly. Welcome back. Now here's a recap of our top stories. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has condemned an alleged police attempt to disrupt the upcoming local government elections at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission premises. During a media briefing in Port Harcourt, Fubara emphasized that while a court ruling instructed the police not to provide security, it did not authorize interference with the election. He affirmed that the election will proceed, citing support from both a Rivers State High Court ruling and a Supreme Court judgment requiring local elections to prevent federal funding for appointed officials. We also informed you that the Nigerian government is officially taking ownership of the Ekpe General Hospital, previously managed by Lagos State government. The hospital will be upgraded to a Federal Medical Center (FMC), making it the second FMC in the state. This development follows the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Student Alausa, during the Median Lagos Trauma Conference held in Lagos on Thursday. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limes World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. It's time for business news, and Victoria Konde is on standby. What's the latest, Victoria?
Thank you very much, Tammy. Welcome to Business News. Now, the House of Representatives on Thursday approved President Bola Tinubu's request for a refund of about 24 billion naira to the Kebbi and Nasarawa state governments for the takeover of 2 airports built by the 2 states. On May 16, 2024, the President, in a letter addressed to the House Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, urged the Legislative Chamber to refund 15 billion naira and 9 billion naira to the Kebbi and Nasarawa state governments, respectively, being the cost incurred in the construction of airports in their domains. On Thursday, the House dissolved into a committee of supply to consider the report on the request as submitted by the chairman of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management, Abubakar Nalaraba, and granted the approval. While Kebbi is to get a refund of 15.14 billion naira, Nasarawa will also get a total sum of 9.54 billion naira based on claims made by both states.
Recommend as follows: that the House do approve a promissory note program as reimbursement to Nasarawa and Kebbi state government for the takeover of the newly constructed cargo airports, development of Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport by the federal government, in the sum of 9,542,651,786 naira 11 kobo only, and 15,137,336,095 naira and 84 kobo only.
Council, and in so doing, approve recommendations 1 and 2 of the report. Thank you. Leader, can you move for the adoption of the report?
Still on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a fresh foreign exchange code as guidelines to eligible players in the country's FX market to stabilize the naira. The FX code was contained in a document released on CBN's official website on Thursday, October 3, 2024. According to the Apex Bank, the FX code will regulate Nigeria's financial system and supervise the foreign exchange market in line with the global best practices. CBN noted that the fresh FX code is organized around 6 principles, including ethics, governance, execution, risk management and compliance, information sharing and confirmation, as well as settlement processes. We'll go on a short break and be back with stock market reports. Welcome back. It's the last weekday of trading and the Nigeria's equities market ended in bullish territory, making it its first win in the month of October with a 0.47% increase. The market capitalization now stands at 56.05 trillion naira. Now in the aggregate, 119 NGX-listed equities participated in trading, ending with 33 gainers and 21 losers. Now, Seplat Petroleum Development Co. led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 4,964 naira 70 kobo per share, followed closely by Associated Bus Company. Now, at the end of the trading day of the week here, the Nigeria Stock Exchange market, over 320 million volumes of shares in 8,763 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 6 billion naira, were traded. Now, when compared to the previous NGX trading day, that is Thursday, the 3rd of October, today's data shows a 19% improvement in volume, 11% decline in turnover, but a 2% improvement in deals. Now, switching over to the global stocks. Now, today it's a tale of two market. That is the Japan's Nikkei and the US Dow Jones danced their way into the bullish close, finishing firmly in the green, as you can see in the charts behind me. Meanwhile, the UK's FTSE wasn't as lucky, sliding down by 0.023%, leaving the Britain stocks feeling bit bearish. Now, in the foreign exchange market, the Naira dipped further, trading at 1,670 Naira against the US dollar on the black market. The British pound is valued at 2,270 Naira, while the euro stands at 1,870 Naira. Now, that's it on both business and stock market reports. Back to you, Tammy, for the rest of the news.
Thank you for that update, Victoria. Now on the global scene, 3 hospitals in Lebanon, including one near the southern suburb, are suspended operations due to ongoing Israeli bombardment. Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati has called on the international community to pressure Israel into allowing rescue and relief teams to access bombed areas and evacuate casualties following the death of over 40 emergency personnel in recent days. The conflict has seen daily exchanges of the fire between Hezbollah and Israel, with Hezbollah supporting Hamas amid the Gaza war. Israel, in response, has ramped up its bombardment since September 23rd, targeting Hezbollah to secure its northern borders for displaced residents' return. Still on the foreign scene, the conviction of Eric and Lai Menendez, who were imprisoned over 30 years ago for the 1989 murders of their parent, are set to be reviewed. The brothers shot Ose and Kitty Menendez in their Beverly Hills home, with prosecutors arguing the crime was part of plan to inherit their father's fortune. However, on Thursday, Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gaskin stated that it is moral and ethical obligation to revisit new evidence submitted by the brothers, alleging they were sexually abused by their father and acted in self-defense. The case has garnered renewed public interest following the release of a Netflix series on the mothers in September. And on sport, ahead of the 2024 and 2025 Nigeria's Premier Football League season, Nigerian international Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi have signed short-term contract to rejoin Kano Pillars. The two players were seen training with the former MPFL champions on Thursday in preparation for their match day 5 home fixtures against Sunshine Stars. Musa is returning to the club for the third stint after playing for them in the 2010 and 2021 season. Abdullahi, meanwhile, is making a second appearance for Pillars, having previously featured for the team in 2012. Still on sport, the General Secretary of the Confederation of African Football CAF, Vera Monsego Omba, is under investigation for allegations of dishonest mismanagement, fraud and document forgery in a case the Swiss prosecutors want could severely damage the country's reputation. Monsego Omba, who is being investigated by CAF for serious misconduct, has been accused of making suspicious payments to Swiss bank accounts. He has denied the allegations, which were disclosed on Wednesday by the Federal Criminal Court of Switzerland. And that wraps up our bulletin on news now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkwele. See you again next time.